My landlord slides the final notice under my door while I'm packing what's left of my belongings into trash bags. 30 days to vacate. The Boise apartment I shared with Tyler for 2 years will soon be someone else's home. Someone who didn't destroy their life with secrets and stupid decisions. Someone who didn't think they could manipulate their way out of consequences. The irony is perfect. I asked for a little break to figure things out. What I got was complete destruction. No boyfriend, no apartment, no job, no friends. Just me and these trash bags and the weight of knowing I caused all of it. Tyler was supposed to be temporary. When we met 3 years ago at a friend's party near Boise State, I was 20 and he was 24. I was still figuring myself out, working part-time at a boutique downtown while taking online classes. He was already established. Good job as a software developer, nice car, his own place. Dating him felt like playing adult. "You're different from other girls your age," he told me on our 3rd date. We were at a brewery in the North End and he was looking at me like I was something special. More mature, more focused. I wasn't, but I liked how it sounded. Liked being seen as sophisticated instead of what I really was. A 20-year-old who spent too much time on social media and had no idea what she wanted from life. Moving in together happened fast. 6 months into dating, my roommate situation fell apart and Tyler offered his spare bedroom. "Just until you find something else," he said. But I never looked for something else. His place was nice, in a good area near the Boise River. Why would I leave? "We should make this official," he said after I'd been there 2 months. "You're here all the time anyway. Let's be a real couple living together." So we were. And for 2 years, it worked. Or at least, Tyler thought it worked. He'd go to his tech job, come home to dinner, that he usually cooked, and seem perfectly content with our routine. Weekend hikes in the foothills, dinner at the same 5 restaurants, Netflix, and actual chill. But while Tyler was content, I was slowly suffocating. All my friends were out at clubs, traveling, dating different people, living their early 20s. I was playing house with a guy who got excited about his 401k matching and wanted to discuss bathroom schedules. "We should go to Vegas next month," I suggested last summer. "Kelsey and everyone are going for her birthday." "Vegas in July? It'll be miserable. Plus, that's when I'm doing the security update at work." "Then let's go somewhere else. Anywhere else." "We just went to McCall 2 months ago. For your company retreat, where you spent the whole time talking code with your coworkers. I thought you had fun." I did have fun. But it was the kind of fun a 40-year-old would have, not a 23-year-old. Wine tasting and early bedtimes and discussions about property values. That's when the texting started. His name was Jake, and he was everything Tyler wasn't. 25, bartender at a club downtown, covered in tattoos that his tight black t-shirts showed off perfectly. He'd served me at a girls' night out, one of the few Tyler had allowed, though he'd never used that word. "Let me guess," Jake had said, sliding me a drink. "Boyfriend's at home?" "How'd you know?" "You've got that look, like you're counting down minutes until you have to leave." "I'm not. It's okay. I see it all the time. Girls your age stuck with guys who think dinner at Applebee's is a big night out." I laughed despite myself. "He's not that bad. But he's not that good either, right?" Jake gave me his number that night. "In case you ever want to remember what fun feels like." I told myself I'd never use it. Told myself it was harmless, just a flattering interaction. But the next weekend, when Tyler was deep in some coding project, I texted Jake. "Is this the girl who's too young to be boring?" "Depends. Is this the bartender who thinks he's deep?" "Touché, what are you doing? Watching my boyfriend debug code?" "Tragic. I'm at the river with friends. You should come." "I can't." "Can't or won't." I didn't respond, but I saved his number. And over the next 3 months, we texted constantly. Nothing explicitly inappropriate at first, just conversations about music Tyler thought was noise, movies Tyler would never watch, places Tyler would never go. "You're glued to that phone lately," Tyler noticed one night. I was curled on the couch, smiling at something Jake had sent. "Just talking to Kelsey about her wedding planning," I lied easily. "Must be some funny wedding planning. You know how she is." He went back to his laptop, none the wiser, and I went back to Jake. That's how it was. Tyler trusted me completely, which made it easier to deceive him. He'd never check my phone, never question my stories, never imagine his mature, focused girlfriend was having an emotional affair with a bartender. Because that's what it was, even if nothing physical had happened. Yet. The almost physical happened in September. Jake invited me to an after-party when Tyler was at a conference in Salt Lake City. I went, telling myself it was just to hang out, just to feel young again. "You came," Jake said when I walked into his apartment. Music pulsing, people I didn't know drinking and laughing. "Just for a little bit." "Sure." He handed me a drink, something sweet and strong. "Let me show you the view from the balcony." The view was Boise at night, lights twinkling, but I wasn't looking at the city. Jake was behind me, close enough that I could feel his breath on my neck. "You know why you're here," he said. "I have a boyfriend." "Who's in another state? Who you're not happy with, who you're going to leave eventually anyway." "You don't know that." "Don't I?" His hand touched my waist. "When's the last time he made you feel anything?" I turned around and we were so close. One movement and we'd be kissing. One choice and I'd cross a line I couldn't uncross. My phone buzzed. Tyler, sending a photo from his conference dinner. "Missing you. Can't wait to be home tomorrow." The guilt hit like cold water. I stepped back from Jake, mumbled something about needing to leave. He laughed as I practically ran out. "You'll be back," he called after me. "They always come back." But I didn't go back. Instead, I did something worse. I pulled away from Tyler completely, stopped responding to his texts quickly, started hiding my phone when he was around, made excuses to avoid sex, created distance because I couldn't face what I'd almost done. The phone hiding became an art form. Face down always, ringer permanently on silent, notifications turned off. I'd take it to the bathroom with me, sleep with it under my pillow, guard it like state secrets were stored inside. Which, in a way, they were. 3 months of messages from Jake. Flirty texts that had progressed from innocent to explicit. Photos he'd sent after his shifts. Shirtless mirror selfies that made my stomach flip. Voice messages played on low volume while Tyler showered. "Why is your phone always face down?" Tyler asked one night. We were watching TV, and my phone buzzed against the coffee table. "It's not always face down. It literally is, right now and at dinner and when we went to bed last night." "The screen light bothers me." "Since when?" "You used to scroll Instagram until you fell asleep." "I'm trying to have better sleep hygiene, less screen time." He looked at me strangely, but didn't push. That was Tyler. Too trusting to interrogate. Too respectful to invade privacy. He probably thought I was planning a surprise for his birthday or Christmas shopping early. The idea that I was texting another man would never occur to him because I'd never given him reason to doubt. Jake's messages were getting bolder. "When are you going to stop pretending?" he texted one afternoon while Tyler and I were at the farmer's market. "Pretending what?" "That you're happy playing housewife with your boring boyfriend." "He's not boring." "Right, that's why you've been texting me for 3 months, because you're so fulfilled." Tyler was examining tomatoes, carefully selecting the perfect ones for the pasta sauce he'd make from scratch. He looked content, focused on this simple domestic task. When had I started seeing that as boring instead of sweet? "I have to go," I typed quickly, running away again. Classic. Let me know when you're ready to admit what you really want. What I really wanted was increasingly unclear. The excitement of Jake's attention was addictive, but the guilt was eating me alive. I'd catch Tyler looking at me sometimes with this soft expression, like he was just happy I existed, and I'd want to confess everything. Then Jake would text, and I'd remember how alive he made me feel, and the cycle would continue. "Is everything okay?" Tyler asked one night in October. "You've seemed off lately." We were in bed, and he was running his fingers through my hair the way he'd done for 3 years. The gesture that used to comfort me now made me feel like a fraud. "Just stressed about work." "Want to talk about it?" "No, it's fine." "Becca, you know you can tell me anything, right?" But I couldn't tell him about Jake. Couldn't tell him I was bored. Couldn't tell him I felt trapped in a life I'd chosen but no longer wanted. Couldn't tell him that when he touched me, I closed my eyes and thought about someone else. "I know," I lied, turning away from him. "I'm just tired." He spooned me from behind, his arm around my waist, and I lay there rigid, phone clutched in my hand, waiting for him to fall asleep so I could check if Jake had messaged. This was the pattern for weeks. Distant during the day, excuses at night, constantly anxious about my phone. I'd never cheated physically, but emotionally, I was gone. My body was in Tyler's bed, but my mind was constructing fantasies about Jake. So I did what cowards do. I asked for a break. It was a Thursday night. Tyler had made dinner. Salmon with roasted vegetables, the kind of healthy meal he'd gotten us both into. We were eating in mostly silence, which had become our new normal, when I blurted it out. "I think we need a break." Tyler's fork stopped midway to his mouth. "Excuse me?" "A break. Just to figure things out." "Figure what out?" He set his fork down carefully, the way he did everything, with precision and control. "We've been together 3 years. We live together. What is there to figure out? I'm only 23, Tyler. I feel like I'm missing out on things." "Things? You mean other guys?" "No, I just mean experiences, life. I went from my parents' house to your apartment. I've never been on my own." "So you want to what? Move out? Date around? Pretend we haven't built a life together?" "Not date around. Just have some space, a few weeks to clear my head." "Is there someone else?" The lie came so easily. "Of course not. I just need time." Tyler stared at me for a long moment. Then he stood, picked up his plate with his half-eaten dinner, and scraped it into the trash. The waste of food, something he never did, said more than words could. "Where are you going?" "Out. To think. Since apparently that's what we do now instead of talking to each other." "Tyler, wait. But he was already gone, the door closing with a quiet click that somehow sounded final. I immediately texted Jake. "I did it." I asked for space. "Finally. So when can I see you?" "It's complicated." "I still live with him." "Of course it is." "Hit me up when you're actually single, Becca. I'm not interested in complicated." Even Jake was abandoning me, and I'd barely started the break I thought I wanted. Tyler didn't come home that night, or the next. I called, texted, even drove by his office, but his car wasn't there. For someone who thrived on routine, his absence was deafening. When he finally returned Saturday afternoon, he was different. Not angry exactly. Resolved. He was carrying banker's boxes and black trash bags. "What are those for?" "Your things." He set them down, pulled out his phone. "I've consulted with a lawyer." "A lawyer?" "Tyler, this is insane." "And since you're not on the lease, you're considered a month-to-month tenant. I'm required to give you 30 days' notice." He handed me a formally typed document. "This is your notice to vacate." "You're evicting me? Over asking for some space?" "I'm giving you all the space you want. Permanently." "This isn't what I meant." "Then explain what you meant." "Please, tell me how taking a break works when we live together. Do I sleep on the couch while you figure things out? Do we split the groceries but not talk? Do I pretend I don't notice when you come home late? Help me understand your vision here." I couldn't answer because I hadn't thought that far. In my mind, a break meant I'd have freedom to text Jake openly, maybe meet him for drinks, feel young again. all while keeping the security of Tyler and our life. It was selfish and stupid, but I'd convinced myself it was reasonable. "I need you to start packing," Tyler continued. "I'll help if you want, but I think it's best if we minimize contact during your break." "You're seriously kicking me out? Over this?" "I'm seriously respecting your need for space. All of it." "I have nowhere to go." "Should have thought of that before you decided you needed a break." He pulled out his phone, started typing. "I'm sending you a formal notice. 30 days, as required by Idaho law. That should give you plenty of time to figure things out." "Tyler, please, this isn't what I meant." "Then what did you mean? Explain it to me. You want to pause our relationship but keep all the benefits? You want me to sit here like a faithful dog while you decide if I'm good enough?" "It's not like that." "Then tell me what it's like. Tell me the truth." But I couldn't, because the truth was ugly. The truth was that I wanted the security of Tyler while exploring things with Jake. The truth was that I thought I could manipulate the situation to have everything I wanted. "I just need time," I repeated weakly. "And I need someone who actually wants to be with me. So take your time, take all the time you need, somewhere else." He went to his office, the second bedroom he'd converted when I moved in, and closed the door. I heard the lock click, another finality. I stood in what used to be our living room, eviction notice in hand, realizing I'd played myself. Tyler wasn't going to beg. He wasn't going to fight for us. He was going to efficiently remove me from his life like debugging bad code. That night, I texted Jake. "Can we meet? Finally ready to have some fun?" We met at a coffee shop. In daylight, without alcohol, Jake looked different, older, tired. Just another guy working a dead-end job and living for the weekend. "So you left him?" he asked. "We're on a break." "A break?" he laughed. "Let me guess. You want to keep him as backup while we see where this goes?" "That's not—" "Look, Becca, you're hot. We'd have fun, but I'm not interested in being someone's experiment. Either you're single or you're not." "I thought you wanted me to leave him." "I wanted to sleep with you." "There's a difference. If you're single, call me. If not..." He shrugged and left. So I was nowhere. On a break I'd requested, kicked out of the apartment, and rejected by the guy I'd risked everything for. I crashed on Kelsey's couch, but that lasted exactly 1 week before her boyfriend complained. Moved to another friend's place, then another. Each time, the welcome wore out faster. 23-year-olds don't want roommates who are technically homeless because they blew up their own lives. "Just apologize to Tyler," Kelsey advised. "Tell him you made a mistake." So I tried. Showed up at the apartment with his favorite takeout and a speech about being stupid and scared and sorry. Tyler answered the door in a suit. Behind him, I could see a woman's purse on the counter. "Becca, what are you doing here?" "Can we talk? I brought Thai food from that place you like." "I have plans tonight." "With who?" "Does it matter?" "We're on a break, remember?" That's when she appeared. Professional looking, maybe 28, with the kind of confidence that comes from having your life together. She was wearing a black dress that probably cost more than my monthly contribution to rent, and she moved through Tyler's apartment, the apartment that used to be ours, like she belonged there. "Sorry," she said to Tyler, her hand naturally finding his shoulder. "I didn't mean to interrupt." "You're not interrupting." Becca was just leaving. "Wait," I said, desperation creeping in. "Can we please talk?" 5 minutes? "We've talked. You wanted space. I gave it to you. I made a mistake." "Yes, you did." "Several, actually. Starting with thinking I'd wait around while you decided if I was worth your time. That's not what... Isn't it? You asked for a break, Becca. Not a conversation. Not counseling. Not help with whatever was bothering you. A break. Like I was a Netflix subscription you could pause and resume whenever you felt like it." The woman, I never did get her name, shifted uncomfortably, but didn't leave his side. That small gesture, that loyalty to someone she'd probably known for weeks versus my 3 years, broke something in me. "I know about Jake," Tyler said quietly. "The bartender from Proof." Did you think I was stupid? Did you think I wouldn't notice my girlfriend suddenly guarding her phone like nuclear codes? Taking it to the bathroom, sleeping with it under her pillow? My face burned. I never slept with him? I know. I checked the credit cards, the location data. You came close though, didn't you? That night in September when I was in Salt Lake? When you told me you were having a girls' night, but your car was parked outside his apartment building? How did you... I drove by Kelsey's to surprise you with dessert from that place you love. Imagine my surprise when your car wasn't there. Took me about an hour to find it. Parked 3 blocks from his place like that would somehow make it less obvious. The woman beside him squeezed his arm gently, a silent show of support that made me sick. She knew this story. He'd told her about me, about us, about my betrayal. I was already just a cautionary tale in their relationship. I didn't sleep with him, I repeated weakly. No, you just emotionally cheated for months. Texted him constantly, met him behind my back, then asked for a break so you could test drive him without technically being a cheater. How noble of you. Tyler ... Do you know what the worst part was? It wasn't the lying or the sneaking around. It was that you couldn't even be honest about what you wanted. You tried to keep me as a backup plan while you figured out if the exciting bartender was worth throwing away 3 years. That's not just cruel, Becca. It's cowardly. He was right. Every word was right. And having this conversation in front of his new girlfriend, seeing how quickly he'd moved on while I'd been couch surfing and begging, made it all worse. Now I need you to leave, Tyler continued. And don't come back. There's nothing here for you anymore. I looked at the Thai food in my hands, the pathetic peace offering that it was, then set it on the ground. I'm sorry, I whispered. I know you are. But sorry doesn't undo months of deception. Sorry doesn't rebuild trust. And sorry definitely doesn't mean I have to give you another chance to waste my time. The door closed in my face. Through it, I heard the woman ask if he was okay, heard him say he was fine, heard them moving away from the door and back to their evening. Their date, their future. Everything I'd thrown away for text messages and the possibility of something more exciting. The job at the boutique ended 2 weeks later. Turns out when you're couch surfing and emotionally wrecked, you're not great at selling overpriced clothes to college girls. My manager, who'd been patient through my recent drama, finally had enough when I showed up late for the 3rd time. I'm sorry, Becca, but this isn't working out. Please, I need this job. I'm trying to get an apartment. Which is why I'm giving you 2 weeks' notice instead of firing you today. Use the time to find something else. But finding something else required references. And my only real reference was Tyler, who'd helped me get the boutique job in the first place. I texted him, begging. I know you hate me, but I need this job reference. Please? He responded once. I don't hate you. I nothing you, which is worse. Good luck. So now I pack my trash bags in an apartment I'm about to lose, with no job, no boyfriend, no friends who'll still take my calls. All because I thought I was too young to be settled, too special to be satisfied, too clever to face consequences. The truth is, I had everything. A man who loved me, despite our age difference. A nice place to live. A simple job that paid enough. Friends who included me in their lives. It wasn't perfect, but it was stable, safe, real. But I wanted more, wanted excitement, wanted to feel 23 instead of 33, wanted Jake's attention and Tyler's security and thought I was smart enough to juggle both. My phone buzzes. Unknown number, but I answer anyway. These days I can't afford to screen calls. Becca? It's Jake. My heart doesn't even skip anymore. What do you want? Heard you're single now. Want to grab a drink? Seriously? Now you're interested? I told you before, I don't do complicated, but if you're actually available... I'm homeless, Jake. Jobless. Completely fucked. Still want that drink? Silence. Then, oh. Well, hey, good luck with everything. He hangs up. Of course he does. Guys like Jake don't want girls with real problems. They want bored girlfriends looking for excitement, not desperate exes with trash bags for luggage. I finish packing what little I own. Tomorrow, I'll take a bus to my parents' house in Nampa. Back to my childhood bedroom at 23. Back to the starting line, except now with the reputation as the girl who threw away a good relationship for nothing. You had Tyler eating out of your hand, my mom said when I called to ask if I could come home. What were you thinking? I wasn't thinking. That's the problem. I was feeling trapped, bored, restless, but not thinking. Not about consequences or the future or what I actually wanted versus what I thought I should want at 23. The apartment's empty now except for the furniture that came with it. 3 trash bags hold my entire life. Clothes, a few books, makeup I can't afford to replace. No photos of Tyler and me. He probably burned those. No jewelry he gave me. I sold it trying to make rent. No evidence of 3 years together except the muscle memory of where things used to be. I sit on the floor where his couch used to be. This is where we'd watch movies. My head on his lap while he played with my hair. Where we'd eat takeout and plan weekend trips I'd complain about later. Where we had sex that last time, 2 weeks before I asked for a break, when I closed my eyes and thought about Jake. That's the worst part. Not that I lost Tyler, but how I lost him. With lies and distance and the cowardly request for a break instead of the honesty he deserved. If I'd just talked to him, told him I was feeling restless, maybe we could have worked through it, added more excitement to our lives, found a balance between his stability and my need for adventure. But I thought I was too smart for honesty. Thought I could manipulate the situation, keep Tyler as a safety net while exploring my options. Thought 23 meant I had time to play games with someone's heart. My phone dies. I don't bother charging it. Who would call? Tyler's moved on with someone age-appropriate who probably appreciates his stability. Jake's moved on to the next bored girlfriend. My friends have moved on from my drama. My job has moved on with someone reliable. Tomorrow, I'll move on too. Back to Nampa, back to childhood, back to square one. And maybe someday I'll move forward again, find someone new, build something real. But it won't be what I had with Tyler. That kind of trust, once broken, doesn't rebuild. That kind of love, once discarded, doesn't return. That kind of life, once destroyed for the thrill of texting a bartender, doesn't get a do-over. I asked for a break. What I got was a breakdown, complete, thorough, and entirely self-inflicted. The apartment door closes behind me for the last time. Boise stretches out in the morning light, the city where I had everything and threw it away for the phantom promise of something better. Tyler's probably at work now, coding something important, living his life without the burden of a girlfriend who couldn't appreciate what she had. His new girlfriend is probably texting him about dinner plans, honestly and openly, the way I should have communicated instead of hiding behind my phone and lies. I drag my trash bags to the bus stop, 23 years old and starting over with less than I had at 18. All because I confused being young with being stupid, confused wanting more with deserving more, confused a good man's patience with weakness. He didn't go savage when I asked for a break. He went surgical. Gave me exactly what I asked for, complete space, total freedom, the single life I thought I wanted. And in doing so, he showed me exactly what I'd thrown away. The bus to Nampa arrives. I climb on with my trash bags, find a seat in the back, and watch Boise disappear behind me. Somewhere in that city, Tyler is living his best life without me. Somewhere, Jake is serving drinks to the next restless girlfriend. Somewhere, the girl I could have been is waking up next to the man who loved her, in the apartment they shared, living the life she appreciated instead of destroyed. But that's not my story. My story is this bus ride back to my parents, these trash bags of possessions, this phone with no messages from anyone who matters. This is what happens when you mistake contentment for boredom, stability for imprisonment, love for something you can pause and restart at will. I wanted a break. He gave me a clean break. And now I'm broken, completely and permanently by my own design.